What's going on, guys? Wanted to do a Luthier tour review. Haven't done one of these in a while and haven't bought any equipment in a while. So I needed a planer, and this G0999 was actually perfect for what I was looking for. I've got an old Ryobi 12-inch planer, and it was loud and beastly, and it tore out a lot of wood. This is spiral cutter head, 15-inch. I plopped it on a base so that I could move it around the shop. Decently heavy. If you've got two people to put it on a base or move around, that's ideal. I really did not like some of the larger planers that I've had in the past. If you see some of my other tool reviews, I've had, I think, 2 different 15-inch planers. And for the size and for what I need, I am not doing production level planing. I am planing, a block of wood here and there. I'm not going through a ton of material like I have in the past. And so this on the rolling base with some table extensions actually turned out real nice. I'll show you guys the table extensions in a little bit. But the noise level of the planer and the fact that it runs on 120 amp, 120 versus 220 is a huge plus given the shop setup that I'm in. If you guys want to hear it here, that's really quiet running a planer. I have run a ton of planers in the past and they scream at 120, 20 amp. I'm really happy with that noise level. You don't really need headphones, although I'd still recommend it. I'm going to run a piece through here. This is a piece of maple that I've got that's got some run out, but we'll flip this through here and show you guys what it sounds like. I'll show you the back side on this. The dust collection and the outfeed table don't work perfectly. You have to take it off and on for it to work right. What's nice with the infeed table is it folds up on the back side, on the front side, and on the back side you actually have to take off the table or take off the dust collection. And the dust collection has 4 screws, as you can see here. So this is what I was saying about the dust collector. There's 4 screws here. This doesn't fold up. They could have compressed this angle slightly so that it still folds up. They had just enough to keep this there. So what I do is unscrew the outfeed table. Like so. I drilled this hole and then it just disappears. So we'll run this now. I recommend running a dust collector to pick up the chips. For this example, I'm not going to run the dust collector. Just wanted to show you how it sounds. The adjustment wheel is here on the side. I sort of reconfigured the way I had this table laid out so that I can still keep my router on the top. I didn't want to do one of those flip up tables because that takes up a decent amount of space and I wanted to leave the smaller footprint. So we'll lower this. Real clean cut with the spiral head. So real clean. Sometimes with the Spiralhead, you'll see a little bit of pattern, and you don't get that all at all. I got a little bit of snipe. I got to adjust the outfeed tables. So this is what I was saying on the outfeed table. I've got to take this off. The outfeed tables adjust here. So this fits in, and then the table moves up and down. And since I'm getting a little bit of snipe, I set this last night with a level. I'll probably have to just make a slight adjustment, but that's really not too bad. Really clean cutting. Again, the sound and decibel of the machine is really low. I'll run my 12-inch here to show you that. So just as a sound comparison, here's my 12-inch. And when you run a piece of wood through it, it screams. So if I put that piece of maple through it, it'd get a little bit of chip out because of the single blade, and then it screams. It's just a really loud machine. So I do like the digital readout on the Grizzly tool. I also like that you get an indicator of how much stock you're going to remove with this as you're turning it down. It does have nice tool storage in this tool as itself. Again, it's a little bit heavy to get off the pallet, but this is now secured onto this. And when I'm running it, I usually put a wedge underneath it so it doesn't move. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this tool. Price point, again, is a little bit expensive, but for some of the larger 15-inch ones, production-wise, those are really expensive. You know, for the way I run my shop, I needed a planer. I've got all this rosewood I'm going through, and I have ruined so many sanding belts on my 25-inch WoodTech sander. And the only way to really get real oily wood, rosewood, is with a planer. Running it through the sander, walnut, koa, any of those really high oily woods, you're going to ruin the sandpaper. So getting a planer for me was really important. So just a quick tool review of a Grizzly G0999. Hopefully this review will be helpful to anyone looking at buying this. Again, 15-inch, 2 horsepower, benchtop model, spiral cutter head. So thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video.